Hi guys, this is Brian Johnson, and we're here at Urban Legend in Hamilton, New Jersey. And we wanted to bring you this little excerpt from a conversation that Dave Griffin, my producer and photographer, was having. He and I were having while we were discussing trying to move ourselves forward, trying to be better human beings. What's blocking our progress? What is the energy that's within us that causes us to kind of falter from time to time? So in order to master that, we have our conversations on the daily. So Dave always tells me, listen, we should have recorded this, we should have recorded that. This time I happened to move my finger over and hit the button while we were talking. You'll notice that I'll be turning to my left a lot because Dave is sitting over there. So we just wanted to just go with it spontaneously. And we want to get your feedback from it. If it's content that you think is helpful to you, please by all means leave comments below, or you can check into our emails and leave us a comment there. So we thank you. We're going to segue into that right now. And again, tell us what you think. Peace be you.
Usually because there's a camera running, we always have a way of stifling ourselves so we don't move through our energies with any message that might be in there that you want to just bring forward. It's something intrinsic that's going on in the soul, but because there are some outside things that cause our attention to shift, we don't always get the full flow of it. And isn't that just a way of consciousness? I mean, that's the way all of us are individually. We may have a perfect thought, something that's very immaculate and beautiful about love, about just being who we are. And as soon as you get out into the collective, you get drawn away as if there was a camera on you to just change your perspective, to change how your energy actually wants to flow. And we find ourselves weakly moving against our own deeper wills to move into the collective flow. And each of us are doing that, so that means that the collective flow is skewed unless that collective flow is love. If you're moving away from something that's intrinsically beautiful and perfect about yourself into something that you feel less good about, and if the collective is all doing that, then it's not serving anything in society, truly. All of this is pulling everybody down. It's like crabs in a basket. So if we don't want to feel like that, if we don't want to be that person, then we have to exercise our wills to be functioning in a state of consciousness that is totally loved, totally driven to get to the next place, because you don't want to feel that way. If you can compare it to something, if you wake up in the morning and you feel great, and all of a sudden you're out here and you do not, then we need to take note of what the change was exactly that happened, and then start feeding ourselves within that environment that created the love or brought the love forward in a more pronounced way for us. And if we don't do it that way, we skew ourselves. We're supposed to be in charge of our own temples. So we have to make that time, sacred space, sacred time, sacred thinking, where everything else doesn't matter. Damn the torpedoes with everything else. What is my perfect soul trying to tell me? And if the kingdom of heaven is inside us, that we need to go inside to make sure we understand that that perfect, they call it a Christ nature, they call it a nirvanic nature, they call it a Buddhic nature, any of those immaculate conceptions of consciousness within each and every one of us that makes us all children of God within a totally infinite universe. We need to get back to that and make sure that once we touch it, then we bring it to the community, and then the entire community changes and lifts. There's a new standard that's risen, and that we all start reaching for, and it's in sight. It's not something that only Jesus could do, and only Buddha could do, and only Krishna could do, and Mother Mary, or whoever it is that we're looking for to help us to get through. Their presence in the first place was to let us know that it could be done by human beings. So how do we miss this? Because we want to give someone else the authority that we actually have for ourselves. But then we diminish ourselves as being victims within the process when they're trying to tell us their lives were victorious lives, and we're not catching hold of that enough, you know? The whole idea of being saved is to know that you can do it. That's the idea. Not that someone else is just doing it for you, but that you can do it. That's why they bring the consciousness for us so that all of us can get it, you know? So it makes us, you know, it changes from victim to victor consciousness, from victim to victor, from feeling some kind of way about yourself when you wake up in the morning and the day is beautiful, but you can't get past some other kind of energy that's sitting there that skews your own understanding or the fullness of the comprehension and the beauty and the feeling of everything that you see that seems so beautiful but you. How does that happen? That's because our views of ourselves are not correct. We don't see ourselves as being the same beauty as all that's made around us. We see ourselves as victims within a process that we can't seem to get out of. And that's just backwards thinking. That's all it is. So how do we get out of it? Change our thinking. Spend time with yourselves. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your family. Eat well. Drink well. Breathe well. Enjoy your life. Enjoy your life.
Hi, guys. We hope you enjoyed our little conversation. It was brief, but it had to do with a lot of things that we were thinking about along the way. And in the course of this morning, in fact, these were the kinds of thoughts that were running through my head. And Dave is as well. So we get a chance to have this conversation. We thought we could share that kind of conversation with you. This is why we're hoping that you'll be able to join us and to share your thoughts on topics that we're sharing with you, and to also introduce some topics to us that we might be able to investigate and have group conversations about. Please, at all times, it always helps us out, as I'm getting used to doing this, like and subscribe down below for us. And just keep in touch with us as we keep in touch with you. We want to keep things as relevant to our internal spiritual and external growth as possible. Next week, next Tuesday, my good friend Santiago will be joining us for a conversation in manifesting with positive energy. Santiago is a successful record producer, a successful clothing line designer, and he's right here in our own backyard. So it'll be great to have that conversation with someone who is taking steps to manifest their dreams. And this is the kinds of things that we want everyone to be able to do. Right here in our grassroots area. Right now, we're in South Jersey, for those of us who may be looking in from other places. And we want you to do the same wherever you are, to be able to have your dreams come true by unblocking the blocks that we've learned one way or another throughout our lives, either through our tribes, our larger communities, how we've been looking at things that not necessarily the way things should be. And if you can see a better vision both for yourself and your community, your family, your tribe, we encourage you to join us in exploring how to get this done. Again, we say thank you for joining us. Like and subscribe. I'm told to say this often. And just have a wonderful day. Peace be you. Be love.